Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the Midlands Rugby Podcast. Phil, how you doing?
I'm very well, mate. It's been a little break we've had again, but can't be helped.
I know, yeah, we're not very good at regular recordings at the minute. We are going to a fortnightly recording just so we at least have some form of structure that we can abide by for a bit. What's been going on since we last spoke?
Quite a bit. We've had a lot of rugby, going into a weekend off, which my body is desperate for. Um, had some big journeys personally up to Billingham, and not the great result. But there's been quite a lot of international rugby, both codes, but mainly in Union. So yeah, I thought we'd go over what had happened on Saturday morning, first of all.
Yeah, in great game. For those who
Great.
haven't clocked on, it was England, New Zealand, the Red Roses versus the Black Ferns in the Rugby World Cup final. Last gasp opportunity from England just didn't quite work out. But I think the number of spectators is the first positive anyone can take from that game.
Definitely. I mean, they've nearly filled Eden Park in NZ, and then the amount of TV watches was phenomenal. I think the game itself was so watchable. It's one of my best games I've watched
Oh yeah,
in a
massive.
while in terms of edge of the seat excitement. And everything's got a red card after 18 minutes, which is always controversial, but I think the referee made the right call.
Oh yeah, but what's mad is that was the first red card of the whole tournament,
I know.
which is incredible. If that happens if we wouldn't go a round without a high tackle red card
Yeah.
in rugby, it's absolutely incredible they've got a tournament. It's mad.
Yeah. And it was just a really unfortunate one where she almost couldn't get a body out the way rather than it was sort of there was any sort of intent there.
I think
Um,
if you if even if not deliberate, but if you're leading with face, it, it doesn't look great.
it's not going to end well either way, is it? You're either getting a red card or you're going to hospital anyway. I mean, the high tackle thing's amazing. So on Saturday, the opposition, their winger got yellow carded for a seatbelt tackle, but it was his second yellow card.
Oh, in
So,
your game,
yeah,
yes.
so he ended up getting red card, and I think it's such like a rough way to get yourself red carded
Yeah.
because he'd made a massive like covering tackle. Like if he hadn't made the tackle, we've scored easily. And yeah, he's given a seatbelt tackle away, and he's given a penalty try away and a yellow card and got himself sent off. But if he was 2 inches lower, he's a superstar. Yeah, and saved a certain try. So
And I think there is a big difference between putting a seatbelt tackle in on someone like me or yourself, who are the other side of 6'2", to someone who is the underside of 5'10".
yeah, or someone diving for a line.
Yeah, diving. Yeah, if someone's dipping or diving for a line, there is nothing a tackler can do.
No,
It does warm me up, and I think in them situations that it should. I know that everyone wants to talk about green cards or pink cards or whatever it is, but another sin bin is probably the best.
yeah,
If there's that many mitigations that it's only a yellow,
yeah.
then it should really be dropped down to something else. But
But hopefully the women's game kicks on from this, and it sounds like it was a real good, lively, vibrant environment down in New Zealand for the World Cup. So hopefully, it keeps building. I know that there's been quite a lot. I find it really odd in this country that our girls make it to the World Cup final. They lose very narrowly to a very good New Zealand team in their home country, and all the reaction I hear is about how bad the girls feel and how awful it is, and they'll never forget it and they'll never live it down. They've made it to a World Cup final.
it's ridiculous. And you see some big names in rugby on social media saying some ridiculous things like, "Oh, this will never leave their memories in a negative way," and they've always had opportunity. And it's all this stuff. And you're just kind of like, where's this come? Where's this Britishness deciding to creep in when it's something is they lost 34-31 to one of the best rugby nations. on in any code on any side of the gender.
Yeah.
By 3 points, 2 points, 3 points. I mean, that's an achievement. That is an achievement.
With 14 for the majority of the game.
Yeah, with 14 for the majority of the game. And you've played, some people were saying, why didn't you go for points? If you played a full 80 minutes, because it was kickable, where that final penalty was kickable, but you're going into extra time, one player down, you're already looking pretty fucked.
Yeah.
You're not going to want to do that. You're just going to have to, you have to go for it, right?
It'd be a very tough decision to make.
It'd
be a very tough decision to make. I don't know whether with a minute and a half to go, do you kick the 3 points, make it level, and then just ensure you get an exit? Can you ensure you get an exit?
Yeah.
Or do you stay down there and try and get 7 or 5 points to win the game? It's a tough one.
It is a tough, but it shows the confidence, I think.
It shows the confidence. And the forwards were dominating. I think that last line-out call just lacked a little bit of thought and a little bit of...
It was a very obvious...
Yeah.
So, no shit.
So I think... the decision was made. I can understand you don't want to play another half an hour or 20 minutes or half an hour in rugby. I can't remember.
20 minutes, I think.
20 minutes. Yeah, I wouldn't want to play another 20 minutes, so I can totally appreciate it.
Yeah, no. But fair play. Well done, the Red Roses and the Black Ferns. It was good. I doubt any of you listen, if I'm honest. And then even to the Autumn International Series. Are we in autumn? Yeah, just. It's dark at 5 o'clock. It must be autumn.
Oh, it's definitely autumn, mate.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking, it's boiling. Might be just a dark summer. Some big results in the international game on the men's side. Firstly, first game of the day was Ireland-Fiji. I don't think there's many shocks between that result of 35-17 to Ireland, but the big one, the one I'd love to dwell on for hours and hours and hours, is Italy beating Australia with the Aussies missing the final kick of the game.
Yeah, so I didn't see this. It's a weird Australian team.
It's not an Australian team you'd start in a World Cup.
No. And I do think that the Italian team is getting stronger.
Yeah.
So I think that's a bonus.
And
however,
I'm
not sure Australia will be totally disheartened by that result.
No. But in a year, 2 years' time, people will see the result and not be bothered to look at the team sheet. So it will go down in history. But looking at the Italian side now, they're 15. Capuzzo, or however you say it, and Negri on the back row. There's just some class outfits there.
Yeah, I think their admission into the European Union rugby thing, or whatever it's called nowadays, has been really useful, and they're starting to bring through their own talent rather than just looking for someone with an Italian name in Australia. So
yeah, yeah, or relying on a 50-year-old bald man to play 8.
Yeah. England, Japan, I only saw the second half, wasn't particularly exciting.
No, I think it was kind of the one thing I did notice was from the 2 selections when we lost to Argentina, which didn't surprise me at all. Argentina are a very good team at the minute. And the team selection for Japan, we took out the powerhouse and we went a little bit more width-wise, running rugby, and as Japan would do, and obviously we just ran Japan off the park on that one.
It was a strange Japanese team as well. It wasn't their strongest team.
No.
When Leach is starting, the guy's like 42 or something ridiculous.
Yeah, it is ridiculous.
So I'm not sure that's their best team, but I would have liked to have seen a bit more out of Japan. But at least England have actually scored some tries, which is a bit of a win. Yeah. Wales managed to beat Argentina, which surprised me.
Yeah, the Welsh aren't. The Welsh have been very Welsh again at the minute, aren't they? I think some games they're gonna light up. Other times it's just crap. I have seen, and I love it. and I know he wasn't playing, but so many former Welsh internationals and rugby stars are calling for Mr. Alan Wynne-Jones to take a step back and call it a day, and never have been happier. I think at one point I thought he might be the Welsh Terminator. Just thought he was made of machinery, but he's not. Ever since Joe Marler's grabbed his bollocks, he died. And then France, South Africa. That's quite an interesting game.
Yeah, I think France is pretty strong. I'm not so surprised by that. It sounds like a great game by the looks of it. I haven't seen any of it, but France were looking really good in the last Six Nations, so I'm not particularly surprised that they're being some.
No, and obviously the Saffers did have Dutoit red carded after 10, and then the French had Dupont red carded after 50. So, and for a 3-point game, it was clearly two good teams.
Yeah. And then the Scotland-New Zealand game, I did see quite a bit of that on Sunday. New Zealand were just very clinical at the end.
Yeah, they kind of just, there was a point where everyone was like, oh, the Scots may do it. And then New Zealand went, oh, no, we've got another 2 gears. And, okay, here we go. Fair enough. And it wasn't a massively strong New Zealand side, really. It was strong in the sense of if it was any other nation, you'd want most of the players in your starting line. But looking at some of the lads which were sat next to the pitch and not playing, there were some big names missing as well.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well,
good sporting weekend.
Great sporting weekend.
The cricket Sunday morning as well.
That was great. I've said this to a few lads on Sunday morning. I could get used to getting up, laying in bed and watching major sporting finals. It's actually quite nice.
Yeah.
I had a cup of tea and some French toast.
Well, I didn't have the lying in bed part or the French toast, but yeah.
You had the 2 children part, I imagine.
I did. I had to fight my way for the TV as well.
Do you know what? If we listen back to every episode of every podcast we've done, I wonder how many times you've negatively spoken about your children.
I can guarantee they will never go back and listen to any of this.
I was going to say, luckily for you, I don't think this will be what they want to know. This is Daddy's work. No, it's not. He's got me to rant about you. Should we go a bit closer to the home of the Midlands?
Shall. Shall we start? Do you want to start at the top or the bottom? Your choice.
I'm a bum man. Let's start at the bottom.
Okay. So that means Counties 1, Midlands East South. We're doing the Counties 1 level this week. Going to look at the leagues after 10 games. And see if we can make any sense of it. So this Counties Midlands East South has a few teams that we've played against before, or I've played against before, and the Wellingborough lads who we had on a few weeks ago.
You know, Owen
sitting back in third, must have lost the Vipers, and dropped down behind Market Bosworth as well. But still going strong. Vipers at 10 from 10.
I'm still somewhat jealous. I know we've got a good clubhouse. I know other clubs have a good clubhouse. I'm somewhat jealous of not having an Owen behind the bar. I love our bar staff for Paviers and other nice places, but Owen seems like he's a pretty good steward of a bar, to be fair.
He enjoys his work, doesn't he?
I imagine there is no cash transferred for payment. I imagine it's just as much free beer.
There's certainly no change.
There's certainly no change. But yeah, it's still quite tight at the top of the table, really, in that league.
It is. Those top 3 have kind of made a bit of a gap for themselves, haven't they? And then you've got the next 4 sort of broken away. It's weird seeing teams like Bugbrook in their Wellingborough, in their Market Bosworth. Dunstablians, Dunstablians was a big team a few years ago, like 6 years ago,
and they're now fielding a team by the looks of things, but not necessarily performing.
No, yet to scratch a win.
Just to scratch a win, and there is no game. Obviously, no games this week, and nothing rearranged, which is quite nice. That's quite nice to see after the COVID that they've not had any cancelled games.
Well, it's weird, but the weather's been so good, like we were talking about earlier. I doubt many have had cancelled games.
No, I think I think there's only one game in Nottinghamshire being played this weekend.
Yes.
But Wellingborough open up at a Friday night at home on the 25th of November. Ah, that's a shame. I'm in Budapest. We could have popped down for a Friday night piss up with Erin. What a good fun that would have been. So, Counties 1, Midlands East, North. Hinkley 2's are smashing it.
Yeah, they're having a well of the time, it looks of it. I mean, Hinkley's a great team. Anyway, so I can imagine their two's been pretty strong. Burton 2's also in that league. But some good local teams for us in there. So you got your Lincolns, your Mellish, your Loughborough, Ilkeston, Market Raisin, Ashbourne, Southall, Colville and Ashby. I don't know where Birstall is. I have no idea.
No, sounds like a surname.
But yeah, again, Hinkley look pretty strong. Lincoln really improving as a club.
Yeah, I remember playing. Yeah, I remember playing Lincoln a few seasons ago, and you could see they were starting to find a bit of a structure, and they kind of knew where they wanted to go. So it's good seeing them. And as much as they down the road, they may not like us. Mellish are starting to change a little bit as well. They're starting.
Yeah, they seem to be going really well. These have got back to sort of the club that they were maybe 10, 15 years ago. So that's a real positive for me. The better the rugby in the region is, the more enjoyable it can be.
That was Counties 1, Midlands East, North. Counties 1, Midlands West, South. This will be quick, considering we know very little about West Midlands rugby.
Yeah, not much. Bromsgrove seconds, not doing very well, which is quite surprising considering how good the first team is.
Yeah.
Broad Street seconds as well, who are in the sort of same level as us in the Midlands. Sitting mid-table. I mean, some of the teams doing well there. Kidderminster, they're growing as a club recently.
Yeah. Barker's Butts is a fun name.
Yeah, so we used to play them when I was in the academy at Nottingham. We used to play them quite a lot.
Barker's Butts.
Yeah, they're from Coventry.
Oh, are they?
Yeah. Yeah. That's all I really know in that league. Coventry Welsh. Doesn't need a lot of explaining.
They're the Welsh people from Coventry, aren't they?
Yeah, I'd guess so. And then finally, Counties 1, Midlands West North.
Yeah.
Again, I know very little about this league. Probably worth us getting someone on from like the West Midlands soon.
Yeah, we should do, but I'm not very good at translating very easily. If Big Dog's got any mates.
Doubt it. Yeah, Tamworth. I know Tamworth Rugby Club relatively well, but that's about it, really. I don't know any of those teams at all.
No, I know where they are.
Oh, I know Luctonians, to be fair.
Yeah,
Luctonians top of the league, 5 from 5. Oh, sorry, 10 from 10. Sorry. 5 bonus points all the way through. But it's funny enough, it says 9 try bonus points, but they've got 50 points.
Doesn't make sense, that.
No, that's bad maths.
Well,
they've scored some points as well. They have scored some points.
They have scored some points. Lots of points. Let's have a quick look at their the points. I do like seeing when a team get absolutely faked. I can't see any massive wins for them, to be fair. Not a quick share. But anyway, that's the West Midlands.
They got a home walkover, which it's always worth a few points.
Edwardians put 87 points on Newcastle. Staff's Newcastle.
Wow, yeah.
Incredible.
Anyway, I've worked out, Tom. The home walkover is worth 5 points, but you don't get a try bonus point.
You don't get a try bonus point. You get your 5 points, but you don't get a try bonus point because it's all fair that way. So that we've covered international rugby, we've covered Midlands rugby in inverted commas.
Oh, the Midlands.
So my Wi-Fi went again. So it's just an average Wednesday, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, it's not been great. Next set, we're hoping to get someone on next one to sort of discuss a few things, and then we're looking for people to get in touch who want to come on and let us know about their club in the Midlands.
If you nominate yourself and tell me you're really funny, you're not coming on, because it ultimately means you're not very funny. If your mate nominates you and says, yeah, he's a good chat, then we'll get you on. So if you think you're funny, don't bother messaging, because there's no point coming on. I'm the only one here that thinks I'm funny, and that's the only way it's going to stay. Phil, so in 2 weeks' time, we're back. I am free, which is great. It's quite often me, which isn't. But have you got any wise words for us before we go?
If you kick for the corner in a World Cup final and it's the last play, try not to make your line out outrageously obvious.
Yeah. Front ball with your player stood going, can I have it? Not the wisest choice, but always remember there's another one in 4 years' time for half of the players. All right then. Right then, mate. See you later.
Bye.